Hey guys, welcome to Punky's World. Okay. Last night's video was quick and it was just shot off the cuff. So, try to do a better job this time. Okay. My take on the What the Hale Storage Legends issue. I did not realize what was going on at first. I would see, because I'm subscribed to Storage Legends only because of Jeremy. I could not get into his channel. Something didn't feel right to me. And I can't explain it, but I couldn't get into his channel. Something about him just didn't feel right. And everybody has their own opinions and their own feelings about everyone else, it's human nature. And I left a subscription there just because, he's friends with Jeremy, and I figured if they ever did a collab or whatever, which they've not done except with Rob. They've never done a one-on-one collab. Which should be a clue right there. Anyway, I had been seeing his videos popping up with the word germ and a picture of what's supposed to be a germ. And at first I didn't know what the heck was going on. And I just wasn't clicking on it. Then, yesterday, a video popped up with Jeremy in his face. I'm going, what the? Because they're friends. Not anymore. And so I watched the whole video. My personal opinion is they're both wrong. They antagonized each other. He was laughing at Jeremy, walking away from Jeremy, making a big joke out of Jeremy's feelings. And Jeremy was a little hot-headed. What happened was that Andrew's now former longtime girlfriend is working for Jeremy and George. She's been friends with George for a long time. They did Boss Babes together, which is an offshoot of AA, Auctions Anonymous, and stuff. So they're friends. And they've been split up for a year and a half. She just started working for Jeremy. So it's not like she started working for Jeremy immediately after they split up. She got hired on when Christian and Patience went on vacation. And he called her by her name, Kaylin. He didn't call her Chapo. He didn't put it in his face. Because, see, Andrew is Guapo, and Kaylin was Chapo. I never heard her name. When I would see them at auctions together and checking out each other's units and stuff, I never heard her name. And then Andrew decides that Jeremy must be with Kaylin because he spelled her name correctly in a text message? Really? Dude, she works for him. He pays her. Of course he knows how to spell her name. She's only made a couple of videos for him. And she more than made videos for him. She loaded the whole truck while he had heat stroke. He keeps saying, anyone in the world could have done it. A 7-year-old could have done it. No, dude. She's actually very qualified. More qualified than most because A, she did it for you, and B, she did spend all those years with you at auctions, cleaning out units. She has experience in the field. I don't see a problem. It's not as though your boss hired your ex and you have to work with your ex. And I need to change the battery. Okay, I am back. I was talking about how Jeremy hired his ex-girlfriend and he just went off the deep end. He was so hurt. Why are you hurt? As a lot of people in his comments pointed out, apparently they broke up 1.5 years ago. And she hasn't been working for Jeremy very long. Maybe a few weeks. And you're with someone else. Who cares if your best friend hired her? If you were friends with her long before you broke up, was the breakup so bad that you can't at least be cordial with her? You just don't want to see her at the auctions all the time filming Jeremy. Couple of things. If you watched Storage Legends, Andrew's Lives, he went solo on Jeremy. He accused him of being he accused him of domestic violence. He accused him of liking children in a way an adult shouldn't like children. Just brought Jeremy's kids into it. Saying that they don't love him and they don't talk to him. Saying that Jeremy didn't really like Rob. That if Rob wasn't an auctioneer, Jeremy wouldn't have any use for him. Just went off on a tirade. A 2-year-old temper tantrum. And he did several of these videos over the last month. Jeremy hasn't said a word on his channel. Not a word on What the Hales, because he's been dealing with his psychotic neighbors. And so, after all that, I happened to catch, and Storage Auction Pirate chimed in the live to the Storage Legends, gave him a $20, super chat or something, and wrote #truth and then wrote something else, that Jeremy was driving a wedge between them or something. Really? And and then I happened to catch, and I was already pissed at Storage Stalker, and he was doing a live giveaway on Whatnot, so I went over, and once again, and I entered 2 of the giveaways, didn't win, I never do, and on any of them, I haven't yet. At some point, I probably will. And he's talking about Jeremy. Somebody made a comment, and he started railing off on Jeremy again. And I clicked out of the live. I listened to what he had to say, and then I clicked out. But he was just railing on Jeremy. You go after elderly people, and you go after blah, 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 blah. People who don't have means, blah, 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 blah. First of all, John Cook / Crook and Lynette / Lynette do not qualify as elderly. I'm sorry. They are 60 and 62 years old. She's 62 and he's 60. They do not qualify. No. She's 62 and he's 60. They do not qualify as elderly. I'm sorry. They couldn't even get a senior citizen's discount at most places. And I've seen all of the proof handwritten in black and white. And to go after George because she was upset about the narrative on the police report? When she's barely said boo? I don't know why she chooses to stay in Florida, but it's business related. Because she's running the business out of the schoolhouse. And everybody's saying, oh, they're not together anymore. Oh, yeah, and that's why she's running his Florida business? Her and Deanna out of the schoolhouse together? Yeah, okay. That makes no sense. And and so after Andrew saying all those things in multiple lives that he did on YouTube, Jeremy confronted him at the auction, which unfortunately for Rob happened to be a storage auction that Rob was running. Ugh. The quote Lynette there. Ugh. And Rob is getting in between them. Rob is not a little guy. You know, Rob is, well, he just weighed himself 210 pounds and 6'3". Jeremy's 6'1", 6'2", and probably a good 230, 240. So, yeah. So Rob gets in between them. And Andrew's all pissed because Rob tells him to get back in his truck. But Rob turned right around and told Jeremy the same thing. I guess at some point it finally calmed down and they both attended the auction. But Jeremy's lawyer sent Andrew a cease and desist because Andrew was defaming Jeremy. So Andrew read it right out on a live. You know, and it's just going too far on both ends. You know what I mean? I love Jeremy. I do think he's a hothead. I will not say that I don't think that he is sometimes lost his temper when he should have reeled it back a little bit. And I do agree with one thing that Andrew said. And that is that Jeremy does tell off-color jokes. And sometimes those jokes are a little bit offensive to me as a female. I'm not saying it's misogyny. I'm saying that when you are talking about, they found an old butter churn. And he said, I've been churning lots of butter. I haven't seen George in a month. Use your imagination, guys. I found that offensive as a female. And in Storage Auction Pirates been going off on him, on his lives, because Shart, as Jeremy calls her, Shara, posted a clip from one of his lives and was asking everybody who he was. And nobody would tell her. She wanted to interview him. Interview him for what? He lives in Northern California, more than halfway across the country from this crap. The only collab he's ever done with Jeremy was the East Coast versus the West Coast. And that was Jeremy and Jeebus versus all the rest of them. I don't even know who else was there representing the East Coast besides Jeremy and Jeebus. And I don't even know if Jeebus talks to Jeremy anymore. I don't know what the story is there, but somebody actually asked on Pirates live on Whatnot, is Jeebus real? Well, I can tell you, Jeebus and Amber are real. They're good people. I've spent a lot of time talking to them in the chats. I've spent a lot of time talking to them on Twitter. They're good people. My main channel, Kid Missing, would not be where it is and the quality that it is had I not listened to their advice. And if anybody starts going after them, just because they happen to have an association with Jeremy, oh, I'll be unsubscribing to you so fast your head will spin. Of course, I should be unsubscribing to both Pirate and Andrew, but I just haven't. Because I want to see what else Pirate says, quite frankly. And I wonder if Jeremy knows. Jeremy must know what Pirate's been saying about him. Mike DeHaas, the storage auction pirate. But if you go to his Instagram, it's under David DeHaas. I don't know why. Maybe Uncle Michael has one, so he had to differentiate himself. So maybe he used his middle name. I don't know. Somebody said he made a post on his Instagram. I didn't see it. I didn't watch his reels. He probably went off in one of his reels. I don't know. But he needs to stay out of it, in my opinion. It's none of his business. And I'm not going to... It's none of my business either. I'm just a fan looking in from the outside. And I personally, as a fan looking in from the outside, don't think that pirates should get involved on either side. Step back. And he's talking about all his friends that he works with on the West Coast and how none of them will go near Jeremy. Will F with Jeremy, is his words. Perhaps you shouldn't talk for Storage Stalker and Locker Nuts. And if they choose to talk, let them talk for themselves. You know what I mean? Because that's who he's talking about. Those are the two guys, the main guys. And Manuel, but... And don't get me wrong, I like Manuel. He's just not a big player. His channel is all in Spanish, so he has a niche viewership. He's a niche market. He's a storage auction buyer in Spanish. So, I don't count Manuel. And I have no problem with him at all. I've seen him collab with Locker Nuts. He collabs with Pirate, I've seen them do a big collab where it was Pirate, Stalker, Locker Nuts, and Manuel. Manuel's close to all of them. And I just don't see Locker Nuts getting involved in it. I just don't. He's a Christian man with better things to do in his life than get involved in childish fighting. I don't see it. I love Jack. Can you tell who my favorites are personally? And I had nothing against Pirate until he chose to stick his nose into something his nose shouldn't have been in. These, again, are my opinions based on someone on the outside looking in. I have no dog in the fight. I I just don't. I have no dog in the fight. And I'm just a fan who has watched every video on the situation with Lynette and Crook. And I've been reading Shara's posts, and I'm going to continue to read Shara's posts because I believe, and I've tried to read Lynette's, but she doesn't put anything public. He does show some of her posts, but she doesn't put anything public. So it's hard to see both sides of a story when one side's keeping everything, either deleting everything or keeping everything, in private groups that nobody can get to. If you want your side of the story out there, make it public. Unless you're hiding something. But because I firmly believe in looking at both sides, which is why I'm reading Shara's posts. Or Shart, as Jeremy calls her. I finally ran across her Facebook. And like I said, she posted a video of Pirate going off. And I want to interview this man. Anybody know who this man is? You managed to find his video and edit it for yourself. You have to know who he is, you moron. But that's just my opinion. That if you found someone's video, you edited a clip of it, and she did, and put all kinds of stuff around it, you have to know who they are. His post office box is in his video, in his descriptions. For goodness sake. It's not like you couldn't find him if you wanted to. And you're supposed to be a reporter, so you have other extra... Or you're supposed to have other extra resources to find people. So, she doesn't need her commenters, who obviously do not like her, to find him for her. Not only that, but she will, for no apparent reason, take a screenshot of like 4 posts between her and someone else and just place it in the comments. For no apparent reason. So you gotta skip those. Yeah, so I've got a lot more to read on her page, so it'll be interesting. She even put up the police report, the one that George is disputing. She put up video that she edited of Jeremy and John Crook fighting. Well, arguing. And basically said, this is Jeremy picking on an elderly man. No, this is an elderly man driving onto Jeremy's property, filming Jeremy, telling Jeremy he wants to go toe-to-toe with him, and telling Jeremy if he touches his truck, see what goes bang, bang. I'm sorry. It's all wrong. All of it. Bet it's political. Nope. Did you mean to send this to me? I thought she was trying to send that to her husband. But anyway. Yeah, it just... you know? I'm actually going to make pasta today to have with that bean dip. That's going to be so good. I'm going to make pasta today to have with it. I have some yummy whole grain pasta. The bean dip was phenomenal, by the way. To me, it's a little bit thinner than a dip once you heat it up. So it makes a perfect spaghetti sauce. And that's what I'm going to do with it. And after I have it on some spaghetti today, I'm going to freeze the rest. Crap, I don't have anything to freeze it in. Hopefully Bob's going somewhere today. Anyway, it's crazy. So things have blown entirely out of proportion. And not only is Pirate going after Jeremy, he's now going after Rob. Somebody said Rob should have thrown Jeremy out. He did try to throw them both out. Told Andrew, go back to your truck and leave. And he said, what about him? And he turned around and he said, Jeremy, go back to your truck and leave. I don't want to have to call the police on my friends. He was very clear. Rob actually held his temper very well. And I've seen Rob lose his temper. When a roofer screwed him on his garage. And even then, he didn't swear at the guy or anything. He told the guy in no uncertain terms, you pick up your tools and everything else, you get out of my driveway. It's on video. He filmed it, which was probably a good idea for his own protection to prove he didn't do anything to the guy. And hey, when you have a camera and you're used to using it, why not, right? But yeah, not good. Saying that, and Pirates saying that Rob is Jeremy whipped. No, Rob's his own man. You know, Jeremy has always said, hang out with people who lift you up, not bring you down. Whether it's, you know, emotionally, spiritually, financially, whatever it is. And you'll be better for it. And now they're trying to drag Conky into it. Well, Conky and Noreen are gonna, you know, because they're not gonna want to be involved. And neither is Rob. And it'll be interesting to see when Rob posts the video of that auction if he says a word in his intro to it. You know, it'll be interesting. Or if he just cuts that out completely and just shows the auction. Knowing Rob, he'll probably show it, but he'll edit it down. And he'll say, this is not okay. I don't care if you're my friends or not, you know, in his intro. So it'll be interesting. It only came out yesterday on Storage Legends, so who knows whether it's going to come out on Jeremy's channel, what's going to come out on Jeremy's channel. It'll be interesting. And Jeremy did confront him. That being said, if somebody is saying your kids hate you, they don't talk to you, you're an adult who likes children in a way an adult shouldn't like children. I won't use the word because YouTube doesn't like it. You abuse the opposite sex. all those things, and you see them, you're not going to say, what the have you been saying about me? Of course you are. And that's what happened. So, I will leave links in the description. I was not able to do that last night. To Andrew's video, Andrew's live where he went off, just so you can see that side. I'll also leave a link to Shara's Facebook, so you can read that, or Shart. So you could read that. So you can make your own educated decisions. I can't leave a link to Pirate because I don't know where Shara caught that live. If it was a YouTube live, if it was a whatnot, I don't know, because she just clipped a little piece of it and made a frame and whatever around it and stuff, and claims she doesn't know who he is. Unless somebody did that, all that work and sent it to you, you have to know who he is. So yeah, I've made a very long video here, but I wanted to give you my opinions as a fan looking in from the outside, because you haven't heard too many of those, if any at all, except in comments on both pages, which you can read. Please read. I want you to see both sides. And I wanted to see both sides between Jeremy and Lynette. Unfortunately, she keeps her Facebook private. She keeps all her Facebook groups private. So I can't see her side of it. I can only see the posts that have been sent to Jeremy, that have been screenshotted and sent to Jeremy, because that's all that's public. I believe in looking at both sides of a situation firmly, and unfortunately not able to do that, which is why I went over to Shara's page just to see. I was laughing hysterically though when she was talking about Dawn and Russ, a duly elected hero. O.M. Puke. A duly elected hero. Yep, he was duly elected for a year. His year was up. Bye-bye. And as for Don, he quit. So, and gee, it's Russ that's under investigation, not Madam Mayor Therese, not Mayor Paget, or Mayor Zim, but, so think about that. Just saying. I don't follow as much of that anymore. I followed it in the beginning, but that's getting boring to me. The Lynette and John stuff, I enjoy listening to the police reports and stuff like that. I do. And I can relate to some degree because I have a neighbor from hell. And I'm being harassed. So I get it. More on that in the next video. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you next time.